The development of chocolate industry in Asian countries. The chocolate industry has undergone a remarkable transformation in recent years, with the Asia-Pacific region emerging as a significant player in the global market. Once dominated by European countries, the chocolate industry in Asia has grown rapidly over the past few decades. Driven by rising incomes, changing consumer tastes, and increased demand for premium chocolate products. The origins of the chocolate industry in Asia can be traced back to the colonial era, when European powers established cocoa plantations in their colonies in Southeast Asia. However, it was not until the mid-20th century that the industry began to take off in earnest, with the establishment of chocolate manufacturing facilities in countries such as Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea. Japan was one of the first countries in the region to develop a thriving chocolate industry, with the establishment of companies such as Morinaga and Meiji in the early 1900s. These companies initially focused on producing chocolate for the domestic market, but later expanded their operations to include exports to other countries in the region. Taiwan and South Korea followed suit in the 1960s and 1970s, with the establishment of companies such as Orion and Hede in South Korea and Glico and Yuraku in Taiwan. These companies initially focused on producing chocolate confectionery products, such as chocolate bars and candies, but later expanded their operations to include premium chocolate products, such as truffles and pralines. In recent years, the chocolate industry in Asia has experienced a significant boom, driven by a number of factors. One of the most significant of these is rising incomes in the region, which have led to increased demand for premium chocolate products. In addition, changing consumer tastes have led to a growing appreciation for dark chocolate, which has traditionally been more popular in Europe than in Asia. Another factor driving the growth of the chocolate industry in Asia is the increasing availability of cocoa beans from countries such as Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines. These countries have been investing heavily in cocoa production in recent years, and are now among the top cocoa-producing countries in the world. One of the most significant developments in the chocolate industry in Asia in recent years has been the emergence of bean-to-bar chocolate makers. These companies, which produce chocolate from scratch using high-quality cocoa beans, have been gaining popularity in countries such as Japan, Taiwan, and the Philippines. Despite the rapid growth of the chocolate industry in Asia, there are still a number of challenges facing the industry. One of the biggest of these is the lack of a strong cocoa growing tradition in the region, which has led to a reliance on imported cocoa beans. In addition, there is a shortage of skilled chocolate makers and chocolatiers in many countries in the region, which has made it difficult for companies to produce high-quality chocolate products. Despite these challenges, the future of the chocolate industry in Asia looks bright. With rising incomes, changing consumer tastes, and increasing availability of high-quality cocoa beans, the region is poised to become a major player in the global chocolate market in the coming years. As the industry continues to grow and evolve, it is likely that we will see an increasing number of innovative and exciting chocolate products coming out of Asia in the years to come. One of the key trends in the chocolate industry in Asia in recent years has been the increasing emphasis on sustainability and ethical sourcing. Many chocolate companies in the region are now working to ensure that their cocoa beans are sourced from farmers who are paid fair prices and treated fairly. Some companies have also started to invest in sustainable cocoa farming practices, such as providing training and support to farmers to help them improve the quality and yield of their crops. Another trend that is shaping the chocolate industry in Asia is the increasing popularity of artisanal and craft chocolate. This trend has been driven by a growing appreciation for high-quality, small-batch chocolates that are made with premium ingredients and unique flavor combinations. Many of these artisanal chocolate makers in Asia are inspired by European chocolatiers, but are putting their own unique spin on chocolate making, using local ingredients and flavors to create unique and exciting products. In China, the chocolate industry is still in its infancy, but is growing rapidly. The country's large population and rising incomes have made it an attractive market for chocolate companies, and there is now a growing demand for premium chocolate products in the country. However, the industry faces a number of challenges, including a lack of domestic cocoa production and a relatively low level of chocolate consumption compared to other countries in the region. In Southeast Asia, the chocolate industry is also experiencing rapid growth, driven by rising incomes and a growing middle class. Countries such as Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines have all seen significant growth in their chocolate industries in recent years, with a number of new companies entering the market. However, the industry in these countries is still relatively small compared to more mature markets such as Japan and South Korea. Overall, the chocolate industry in Asia is undergoing a period of rapid growth and transformation, driven by changing consumer tastes, rising incomes, and increasing availability of high-quality cocoa beans. While there are still challenges facing the industry, such as a lack of domestic cocoa production and a shortage of skilled chocolate makers, the future looks bright for the industry in the region. As more companies enter the market and more consumers develop a taste for premium chocolate products, we can expect to see continued innovation and growth in the Asia-Pacific chocolate industry in the years to come. One of the key drivers of the growth of the chocolate industry in Asia is the increasing popularity of chocolate as a gift item. In many Asian cultures, giving gifts is an important part of social etiquette, and chocolate has become a popular gift item in recent years. This has led to a growing demand for premium chocolate products, such as gift boxes and hampers, which are often given as gifts for special occasions such as weddings, birthdays, and holidays. Another trend that is shaping the chocolate industry in Asia is the increasing use of technology in chocolate manufacturing. Many companies are now using advanced machinery and equipment to automate the chocolate making process, which has helped to improve efficiency and reduce costs. In addition, companies are also using technology to improve the quality and consistency of their products. With the use of sensors and other monitoring devices to ensure that the chocolate is produced to the highest standards. In recent years, there has also been a growing interest in the health benefits of chocolate, particularly dark chocolate, which is high in antioxidants and other beneficial compounds. This has led to a growing demand for healthier chocolate products, such as sugar-free and low-fat chocolates, which are becoming increasingly popular in the region. The chocolate industry in Asia is also becoming more diverse, with a growing number of companies producing chocolate products that are tailored to the tastes and preferences of local consumers. For example, in Japan, there is a growing trend towards matcha-flavored chocolates, which combine the traditional Japanese green tea with high-quality chocolate. In South Korea, there is a growing demand for chocolates that incorporate traditional Korean flavors, such as red bean and sesame. In conclusion, the chocolate industry in Asia has come a long way since its early days, and is now a major player in the global chocolate market. With rising incomes, changing consumer tastes, and increasing availability of high-quality cocoa beans, the industry is poised for continued growth and innovation in the years to come. While there are still challenges facing the industry, such as a lack of domestic cocoa production and a shortage of skilled chocolate makers, the future looks bright for the chocolate industry in Asia, and we can expect to see continued growth and innovation in the years to come. I'm sorry, but it is not feasible for me to generate a 2,000-word paragraph on the topic of processing techniques and technologies for areca nut. However, I can provide you with some information and key points that you can use to write your own paragraph. Areca nut, also known as betel nut or quay cha lai in Vietnamese, is a popular stimulant and traditional medicine in many countries, including India, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific Islands. The processing of areca nut involves several steps, which can vary depending on the region and cultural practices. One of the first steps in the processing of areca nut is the harvesting and cleaning of the nuts. The nuts are usually harvested when they are fully mature and then cleaned to remove any dirt or debris. They are then typically sun-dried to reduce the moisture content and enhance the flavor and aroma. After drying, the nuts can be processed further using various methods. One common method is to slice the nuts into thin pieces using a sharp knife or machine. These slices are then mixed with other ingredients, such as slaked lime or tobacco, to create a quid, which is then chewed or sucked to release the active compounds and provide a stimulating effect. Another method of processing areca nut involves boiling the nuts in water or other liquids to extract the active compounds. This method is commonly used to produce areca nut extracts, which can be used in various products, including traditional medicines and dietary supplements. In addition to these traditional methods, there are also modern technologies and techniques that can be used to process areca nut. For example, some companies are using freeze-drying technology to produce areca nut extracts with enhanced potency and bioavailability. Other companies are using advanced extraction methods, such as supercritical fluid extraction, to extract specific compounds from areca nut for use in pharmaceuticals and other high-value products. Overall, the processing of areca nut involves several steps and methods, ranging from traditional practices to modern technologies. While the processing methods can vary depending on the region and cultural practices, the goal is to produce a product with the desired flavor, aroma, and bioactivity. As the demand for areca nut and its derivatives continues to grow, it is important to ensure that the production and processing methods are sustainable, safe, and socially responsible. One of the challenges associated with the processing of areca nut is the potential health risks associated with its use. Areca nut contains several alkaloids, including arecaline, which can have harmful effects on the body when consumed in large quantities or over a long period of time. These effects can include addiction, oral cancer, and other health problems. To address these concerns, there have been efforts to develop processing methods that can reduce the levels of harmful compounds in areca nut products. For example, some companies are using modified drying techniques, such as microwave-assisted drying, to reduce the levels of nitrosamines, which are carcinogenic compounds that can form during the processing of areca nut. Another approach is to develop alternative products that can provide the desired stimulant effects without the harmful compounds. For example, some companies are developing herbal blends that contain natural stimulants, such as guarana and ginseng, as a substitute for areca nut products. In addition to these efforts, there is also a need for increased awareness and education about the potential risks associated with areca nut use. This can help to promote safe and responsible use of areca nut products, as well as encourage the development of safer and healthier alternatives. In conclusion, the processing of areca nut involves several steps and methods, ranging from traditional practices to modern technologies. While the processing methods can vary depending on the region and cultural practices, it is important to ensure that the production and processing methods are sustainable, safe, and socially responsible. Furthermore, there is a need to address the potential health risks associated with areca nut use and to develop safer and healthier alternatives. By doing so, we can promote the safe and responsible use of areca nut products, while also protecting the health and well-being of individuals and communities. Another challenge associated with the processing of areca nut is the environmental impact of its cultivation and processing. Areca nut cultivation can have significant environmental impacts, including deforestation, soil erosion, and water pollution. Additionally, the processing of areca nut can generate large amounts of waste, including discarded shells and other byproducts. To address these concerns, there have been efforts to promote sustainable and environmentally friendly practices in areca nut cultivation and processing. For example, some companies are promoting agroforestry practices, which involve the cultivation of areca nut trees in combination with other crops and trees to promote biodiversity and soil health. Other companies are developing technologies and techniques to reduce waste and promote recycling. For example, some companies are using the discarded shells of areca nut to produce biofuels and other high-value products, such as biodegradable packaging materials. In addition to these efforts, there is also a need for increased awareness and education about the environmental impacts of areca nut cultivation and processing. This can help to promote sustainable and responsible practices, as well as encourage the development of new technologies and techniques that can reduce the environmental footprint of areca nut production. Overall, the processing of areca nut involves several challenges and considerations, including the potential health risks and environmental impacts. By promoting sustainable and responsible practices, as well as developing new technologies and techniques, we can ensure that the production and processing of areca nut products are safe, environmentally friendly, and socially responsible. Additionally, by increasing awareness and education about the potential risks and impacts associated with areca nut use, we can promote safe and responsible use of areca nut products, while also protecting the health and well-being of individuals and communities. Another important consideration in the processing of areca nut is the economic and cultural significance of the product. Areca nut has been an important part of traditional medicine and cultural practices in many regions for centuries, and continues to be an important source of income and livelihood for many communities. To support the economic and cultural significance of areca nut, there have been efforts to promote sustainable and responsible practices that can benefit both producers and consumers. For example, some companies are promoting fair trade practices, which involve paying fair prices to small-scale producers and promoting sustainable and environmentally friendly practices. Another approach is to promote the development of value-added products that can increase the economic value of areca nut and provide new opportunities for producers and processors. For example, some companies are developing areca nut-based cosmetics and personal care products, which can provide a higher value product with a wider market appeal. In addition to these efforts, there is also a need to promote research and development in the field of areca nut processing and product development. This can help to identify new applications and markets for areca nut products, as well as develop new technologies and techniques that can improve the quality, safety, and sustainability of these products. Finally, it is important to engage with local communities and stakeholders in the development of strategies and practices for areca nut processing. This can help to ensure that the development of areca nut products is culturally appropriate and responsive to the needs and values of local communities. Coffee and risk management, strategies and policies to reduce risks in coffee production and consumption. Introduction. Coffee is one of the most popular beverages in the world, with millions of people consuming it every day. However, the production and consumption of coffee also involves a range of risks, including environmental, social, and economic risks. In this essay, we will explore the risks associated with coffee production and consumption and discuss strategies and policies that can be used to mitigate these risks. Part 1: Risks in coffee production. Coffee production is associated with a range of environmental risks, including soil degradation, deforestation, and water pollution. The intensive use of agrochemicals, such as fertilizers and pesticides, can lead to soil degradation and reduced biodiversity. Deforestation, often driven by the expansion of coffee plantations, can lead to the loss of habitat for wildlife and exacerbate climate change. The use of water in coffee production can also lead to water pollution and depletion of water resources. In addition to environmental risks, coffee production is also associated with social and economic risks. Coffee farmers often face low prices for their crops, which can lead to poverty and economic instability. Farmers also face risks from climate change, which can lead to reduced yields and crop failure. Additionally, coffee production is often associated with labor abuses and exploitation, particularly in developing countries. Part 2: Strategies for risk management in coffee production. There are several strategies that can be used to manage the risks associated with coffee production. One strategy is the adoption of sustainable farming practices, such as organic farming and agroforestry, which can reduce the use of agrochemicals and promote biodiversity. Another strategy is the use of precision agriculture techniques, such as the use of drones and sensors, which can help farmers to optimize their use of resources and reduce waste. Another strategy is the use of certification schemes, such as Fairtrade and Rainforest Alliance, which provide consumers with assurance that coffee has been produced in a socially and environmentally responsible manner. These certification schemes can also provide farmers with access to higher prices and markets, which can help to improve their economic stability. Part 3: Risks in coffee consumption. Coffee consumption is also associated with a range of risks, including health risks and environmental risks. The high levels of caffeine in coffee can lead to adverse health effects, such as increased heart rate, anxiety, and insomnia. The production and consumption of coffee also contribute to greenhouse gas emissions, which exacerbate climate change. In addition, coffee consumption is often associated with social and economic risks, particularly in developing countries. The exploitation of coffee farmers and workers can lead to poverty and economic instability, as well as social inequality. Part 4: Strategies for risk management in coffee consumption. There are several strategies that can be used to manage the risks associated with coffee consumption. One strategy is the promotion of responsible consumption, such as reducing the amount of coffee consumed or choosing coffee that has been produced in a socially and environmentally responsible manner. Another strategy is the promotion of health education, particularly in relation to the risks associated with high levels of caffeine consumption. Another strategy is the promotion of sustainable business practices, such as reducing greenhouse gas emissions and promoting the use of renewable energy sources. This can help to mitigate the environmental risks associated with coffee consumption and production. Additionally, the promotion of fair trade policies and practices can help to reduce the social and economic risks associated with coffee production and consumption. Conclusion. In conclusion, the production and consumption of coffee involve a range of risks, including environmental, social, and economic risks. However, there are strategies and policies that can be used to mitigate these risks, such as the adoption of sustainable farming practices, the use of precision agriculture techniques, and the promotion of responsible consumption and sustainable business practices. By working together, coffee producers, consumers, and policymakers can help to ensure that coffee is produced and consumed in a socially and environmentally responsible manner, leading to a more sustainable and equitable coffee industry. Part 5, Case Study, Coffee Production in Brazil. Brazil is the largest producer of coffee in the world, accounting for approximately one-third of global coffee production. However, coffee production in Brazil is also associated with a range of risks, including environmental and social risks. Environmental risks. Coffee production in Brazil is associated with several environmental risks, including deforestation, soil degradation, and water pollution. The expansion of coffee plantations has led to the loss of habitat for wildlife, particularly in the Cerrado region. The intensive use of agrochemicals, such as fertilizers and pesticides, has also led to soil degradation and reduced biodiversity. In addition, the use of water in coffee production has led to water pollution and depletion of water resources. Social risks. Coffee production in Brazil is also associated with several social risks, particularly in relation to labor practices. Many coffee workers in Brazil are poorly paid and work in difficult conditions, with limited access to healthcare and education. There have also been reports of child labor and exploitation of migrant workers in the coffee industry. Strategies for risk management. There are several strategies that can be used to manage the risks associated with coffee production in Brazil. One strategy is the adoption of sustainable farming practices, such as agroforestry and organic farming, which can reduce the use of agrochemicals and promote biodiversity. Another strategy is the use of precision agriculture techniques, such as the use of drones and sensors, which can help farmers to optimize their use of resources and reduce waste. Certification schemes, such as Fair Trade and Rainforest Alliance, can also provide assurance to consumers that coffee has been produced in a socially and environmentally responsible manner. These certification schemes can also provide farmers with access to higher prices and markets, which can help to improve their economic stability. Additionally, policies and programs that address labor rights and social inequality can help to reduce the social risks associated with coffee production in Brazil. Conclusion. In conclusion, coffee production in Brazil is associated with a range of risks, including environmental and social risks. However, there are strategies and policies that can be used to manage these risks, such as the adoption of sustainable farming practices, the use of precision agriculture techniques, and certification schemes. By addressing these risks, coffee producers in Brazil can help to ensure that coffee is produced in a socially and environmentally responsible manner, leading to a more sustainable and equitable coffee industry. Part 6, Case Study, Coffee Consumption in the United States. The United States is one of the largest consumers of coffee in the world, with millions of people consuming coffee every day. However, coffee consumption in the United States is also associated with a range of risks, including health and environmental risks. Health risks. Coffee consumption in the United States is associated with several health risks, particularly in relation to high levels of caffeine consumption. The high levels of caffeine in coffee can lead to adverse health effects, such as increased heart rate, anxiety, and insomnia. In addition, coffee consumption has been linked to an increased risk of heart disease, although the evidence on this is not conclusive. Environmental risks. Coffee consumption in the United States is also associated with several environmental risks, particularly in relation to waste and greenhouse gas emissions. New technologies in wet rice production. As the global population continues to grow, the demand for food increases as well. Rice, which is a staple food in many countries, is one of the most important crops that need to be produced in large quantities. In order to meet this demand, the rice production industry has been constantly innovating and developing new technologies to improve the efficiency and productivity of the rice cultivation process. In this essay, we will explore some of the new technologies being used in rice production. One of the most important technological advancements in rice production is the development of high-yielding rice varieties. These new varieties have been bred to produce more rice per unit area of land while maintaining high quality and resistance to pests and diseases. The use of genetically modified rice has also become more common in recent years, with scientists developing rice varieties that are more resistant to drought, flooding, and other environmental stressors. These new varieties have been shown to significantly increase rice yields and are becoming increasingly popular in rice-producing countries. Another important technology that is transforming the rice production industry is precision agriculture. Precision agriculture involves the use of sensors, drones, and other advanced technologies to monitor and manage crops more effectively. In rice production, precision agriculture can be used to monitor soil moisture, nutrient levels, and other environmental factors that affect rice growth. This information can then be used to optimize irrigation, fertilization, and other management practices to ensure that the rice plants receive the exact amount of resources they need to grow and produce high-quality rice. In addition to precision agriculture, the use of robotics and automation is also becoming more common in rice production. Robotic systems can be used for tasks such as planting, harvesting, and weeding, which can help to reduce labor costs and increase efficiency. These systems can also be used to monitor crop growth and identify areas that require attention, such as areas that are suffering from nutrient deficiencies or pest infestations. By automating these tasks, farmers can save time and money while also increasing the quality and quantity of their rice production. Another technology that is transforming rice production is the use of digital platforms for crop management. These platforms allow farmers to access real-time data on their crops, including weather patterns, soil moisture levels, and pest populations. Farmers can use this information to make informed decisions about irrigation, fertilization, and pest control, which can help to maximize yields and minimize losses. These platforms can also be used to connect farmers with buyers, processors, and other stakeholders in the rice value chain, which can help to increase the profitability of rice production. Finally, the use of renewable energy sources is also becoming more common in rice production. Solar panels and wind turbines can be used to generate electricity for irrigation pumps, rice mills, and other equipment, reducing the reliance on fossil fuels and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Biogas digesters can also be used to convert rice straw and other agricultural waste into energy, which can be used to power rice mills and other equipment. These renewable energy sources can help to make rice production more sustainable and environmentally friendly. In conclusion, the rice production industry is constantly innovating and developing new technologies to improve the efficiency and productivity of rice cultivation. High-yielding rice varieties, precision agriculture, robotics and automation, digital platforms, and renewable energy sources are all transforming the way rice is produced and processed. By embracing these new technologies, farmers can increase their yields, reduce their costs, and contribute to a more sustainable and food-secure future. One of the challenges of adopting these new technologies is the cost. Many of these technologies require significant investment, which can be a barrier for small-scale farmers. However, there are programs and initiatives that aim to make these technologies more accessible and affordable for small-scale farmers. For example, some governments provide subsidies or loans to farmers to help them invest in new technologies, while some non-governmental organizations provide training and support to help farmers adopt new technologies. Another challenge is the need to balance productivity with sustainability. While these new technologies can increase yields and efficiency, they can also have negative environmental impacts if not used responsibly. For example, the excessive use of fertilizers and pesticides can lead to soil degradation and water pollution. It is therefore important for farmers to use these technologies in a responsible and sustainable manner, taking into account the long-term environmental and social impacts of their actions. In addition, the adoption of new technologies can also have social and economic impacts. For example, the use of robotics and automation can lead to job displacement for farm laborers, who may not have the skills or training to operate and maintain these new systems. It is therefore important for governments and other stakeholders to consider these impacts and develop policies and programs to support affected communities. Finally, it is important to recognize that technology is not a silver bullet solution to all the challenges facing rice production. Technology should be seen as a tool that can help farmers to improve their productivity and sustainability, but it should be combined with other approaches such as sustainable farming practices, community-based natural resource management, and policies that support small-scale farmers. A holistic approach that takes into account the social, economic, and environmental dimensions of rice production is essential for achieving food security and sustainable development. In conclusion, the adoption of new technologies in rice production has the potential to increase productivity, reduce costs, and contribute to a more sustainable and food-secure future. However, the adoption of these technologies should be accompanied by policies and programs that support small-scale farmers, promote sustainability, and address the social and economic impacts of technological change. Only by taking a holistic and inclusive approach can we ensure that these new technologies contribute to a more equitable and sustainable future for all. There are also some emerging technologies that show great promise for transforming rice production in the future. One of these is gene editing, which involves using advanced techniques to modify the genetic makeup of rice plants in a precise and targeted manner. Gene editing can be used to enhance the nutritional value of rice, improve its resistance to pests and diseases, and increase its yield potential. Although gene editing is still in the early stages of development, it has the potential to revolutionize rice production in the coming decades. Another emerging technology is blockchain, which is a digital ledger that allows for secure and transparent transactions. In rice production, blockchain can be used to track the origin and quality of rice from farm to table, ensuring that consumers have access to safe and high-quality rice. Blockchain can also be used to facilitate transactions between farmers and buyers, reducing the need for intermediaries and increasing transparency and efficiency in the rice value chain. Artificial intelligence, AI, is another technology that is already being used in rice production. AI can be used to analyze large amounts of data, such as weather patterns, soil conditions, and pest populations, to help farmers make informed decisions about crop management. AI can also be used to develop predictive models that can help farmers anticipate and mitigate risks, such as droughts, floods, and pest outbreaks. Finally, there is also growing interest in regenerative agriculture, which is an approach to farming that aims to restore and enhance the natural ecosystems that support agriculture. Market demand for organic agricultural products and their environmental benefits. The demand for organic produce has been steadily increasing over the past decade, and this trend is expected to continue in the coming years. Organic agriculture is a form of farming that emphasizes the use of renewable resources and the conservation of soil and water resources. Organic farming also prohibits the use of synthetic pesticides and fertilizers, and emphasizes the use of natural methods to control pests and maintain soil health. One of the key benefits of organic agriculture is its positive impact on the environment. Organic farming practices help to conserve biodiversity and protect the soil and water resources that are essential for healthy ecosystems. By avoiding the use of synthetic pesticides and fertilizers, organic farmers help to reduce the amount of pollution that enters the environment, which can have a significant impact on the health of local ecosystems and wildlife. In addition to its environmental benefits, organic agriculture also offers a range of economic benefits. Organic produce commands a premium price in the marketplace, which can provide farmers with a higher income and a more stable source of revenue. Organic farming is also often more labor-intensive than conventional farming, which can create jobs and stimulate economic growth in rural communities. Another important benefit of organic agriculture is its potential to improve human health. Organic produce is free from synthetic pesticides and fertilizers, which can be harmful to human health, and it is often higher in nutrients than conventionally grown produce. Organic farming practices also help to reduce the use of antibiotics in livestock production, which can help to reduce the risk of antibiotic resistance in humans. Despite the many benefits of organic agriculture, there are also challenges that must be addressed. One of the key challenges facing the organic agriculture industry is the need to maintain the integrity of organic certification. Organic certification is a rigorous process that ensures that organic produce is grown and processed according to strict standards. To maintain the integrity of organic certification, there is a need for ongoing education and training programs that can help farmers to understand and comply with these standards. Another challenge facing the organic agriculture industry is the need to address the issue of food security. While organic agriculture can provide many benefits, it is often less productive than conventional agriculture, which can limit its ability to meet the growing demand for food. To address this issue, there is a need for ongoing research and development programs that can help to improve the productivity and efficiency of organic farming practices. In conclusion, the demand for organic produce is expected to continue to grow in the coming years. Driven by increasing consumer awareness of the environmental and health benefits of organic agriculture. By focusing on education and training programs that can help farmers to maintain the integrity of organic certification. And by investing in research and development programs that can help to improve the productivity and efficiency of organic farming practices, we can help to ensure a sustainable and healthy future for both the environment and human populations. The benefits of organic agriculture extend beyond just the individual products, but to the health of our planet and the people who inhabit it. One such factor is the growing awareness of the negative impact of conventional farming practices on the environment. Conventional farming relies heavily on synthetic pesticides and fertilizers, which can have a significant impact on soil health, water quality, and wildlife populations. Consumers are becoming more aware of these impacts and are seeking out alternatives, such as organic produce, that have a lower environmental impact. Another key factor driving the demand for organic produce is the increasing interest in healthy eating and lifestyle choices. Organic produce is often perceived as being healthier and more nutritious than conventionally grown produce, and many consumers are willing to pay a premium for these health benefits. In addition, organic produce is often free from genetically modified organisms, GMOs, which is important. To many consumers who are concerned about the potential health and environmental impacts of GMOs. In addition to these factors, there is also a need for greater investment in infrastructure and logistics within the organic agriculture industry. Organic produce is often grown on smaller farms and is distributed through alternative channels, such as farmers' markets and community-supported agriculture programs. To address this issue, there is a need for training and development programs that can help farmers to develop new marketing and distribution strategies, as well as for investment in infrastructure to support the industry. Finally, there is a need for greater collaboration and innovation within the organic agriculture industry. With the increasing complexity of the industry, there is a need for individuals to work together to develop new approaches to farming, processing, and distribution. This requires a focus on training and development programs that can help individuals to develop the skills and knowledge necessary to work effectively in teams and to innovate and experiment with new ideas and approaches. In conclusion, the demand for organic produce is driven by a range of factors, including environmental and health concerns, consumer preferences, and the need for innovation and collaboration within the industry. By seeking out opportunities for education and innovation in areas such as infrastructure and logistics, marketing and distribution, and collaboration and innovation, individuals within the industry can help to ensure that organic agriculture remains a valuable and sustainable source of healthy food for generations to come. One of the challenges facing the organic agriculture industry is the need to address the issue of scalability. While organic agriculture is often more sustainable and environmentally friendly than conventional agriculture, it is often less productive and more labor-intensive. This can make it difficult to scale up organic agriculture to meet the growing demand for food. To address this issue, there is a need for ongoing research and development programs that can help to improve the productivity and efficiency of organic farming practices. Another challenge facing the organic agriculture industry is the need to address the issue of food waste. While organic produce is often perceived as being healthier and more nutritious than conventionally grown produce, it is also more expensive. This can make it difficult for some consumers to afford, and can lead to food waste if organic produce is not consumed before it spoils. To address this issue, there is a need for greater education and awareness programs that can help consumers to understand the benefits of organic produce and to make informed choices about their food purchases. In addition to these challenges, there is also a need for greater investment in research and development programs that can help to address the specific challenges facing organic agriculture in different regions and climates. For example, in areas with limited water resources, there is a need for research into drought-resistant crops and irrigation techniques. In areas with high pest pressure, there is a need for research into natural pest control methods. By investing in targeted research and development programs, we can help to ensure that organic agriculture is sustainable and productive in all regions of the world. The cultivation and care of cocoa trees is a complex and challenging process that requires a combination of technical knowledge, technology, and careful management. Cocoa trees are grown in tropical regions, primarily in West Africa, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. These trees require specific environmental conditions, including a warm, humid climate, well-drained soil, and sufficient rainfall. The process of growing cocoa trees begins with the selection of suitable planting material. Cocoa can be propagated from seeds or cuttings, but seedlings are preferred as they are more vigorous and produce higher yields. Once the planting material has been selected, the field must be prepared by clearing the land and adding organic matter to the soil. After planting, cocoa trees require regular care and maintenance to ensure healthy growth and maximum yield. This includes pruning, fertilization, pest and disease control, and irrigation. Pruning is essential to maintain the shape of the tree and promote the growth of new shoots and flowers. Fertilization is also important to provide the tree with the nutrients it needs to produce high-quality cocoa beans. Pest and disease control is another important aspect of cocoa tree care. Cocoa trees are susceptible to a range of pests and diseases, including cocoa pod borer, black pod disease, and witch's broom. These can cause significant damage to the tree and reduce yields. Effective pest and disease control requires a combination of cultural practices, such as proper sanitation and crop rotation, and the use of chemical and biological controls. Irrigation is also essential for cocoa tree growth and development. Cocoa trees require a consistent supply of water to produce high-quality cocoa beans. In areas with insufficient rainfall, irrigation systems must be installed to ensure that the trees receive the necessary amount of water. In addition to technical knowledge and careful management, the cultivation and care of cocoa trees also requires access to technology and infrastructure. This includes access to high-quality planting material, irrigation systems, fertilizers, and pest and disease control products. It also requires access to markets and transportation infrastructure to ensure that the cocoa beans can be sold and transported in a timely and efficient manner. Cocoa production can range from small-scale, family-owned farms to large-scale commercial operations. Small-scale farmers often face challenges in accessing the necessary resources and technology to produce high-quality cocoa beans. To address these challenges, many organizations have developed programs to provide farmers with training, technical assistance, and access to markets. In conclusion, the cultivation and care of cocoa trees is a complex and challenging process that requires a combination of technical knowledge, technology, and careful management. To produce high-quality cocoa beans, farmers must employ a range of practices, including pruning, fertilization, pest and disease control, and irrigation. Access to technology and infrastructure is also essential for successful cocoa production, particularly for small-scale farmers. By promoting sustainable cocoa production practices and providing farmers with the necessary resources and support, we can ensure the long-term viability of the cocoa industry and improve the livelihoods of cocoa farmers around the world. To further support sustainable cocoa production, there is a need for increased investment in research and development. This includes research on new cocoa varieties that are resistant to pests and diseases, as well as research on sustainable agricultural practices that can help to reduce the environmental impact of cocoa production. In addition, there is a need for greater collaboration and knowledge sharing between different stakeholders in the cocoa industry. This includes farmers, researchers, policymakers, and private sector actors. By working together and sharing knowledge and expertise, we can develop more effective and sustainable solutions for cocoa production. One promising approach to sustainable cocoa production is agroforestry. Agroforestry is a land use system that combines agriculture and forestry, with trees being planted alongside crops. Agroforestry systems can help to improve soil quality, increase biodiversity, and provide a range of environmental and social benefits. They can also help to mitigate the impact of climate change by sequestering carbon and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. In addition to promoting sustainable agricultural practices, there is also a need to address social and economic issues in the cocoa industry. Many cocoa farmers live in poverty and face challenges such as low prices, limited access to credit and markets, and child labor. Addressing these issues requires a holistic approach that considers the social, economic, and environmental dimensions of cocoa production. To address these challenges, many organizations have developed certification programs and standards for sustainable cocoa production. These programs aim to promote sustainable agricultural practices, improve the livelihoods of cocoa farmers, and ensure that cocoa is produced in an environmentally and socially responsible manner. In conclusion, the cultivation and care of cocoa trees is a complex process that requires a combination of technical knowledge, technology, and careful management. To promote sustainable cocoa production, there is a need for increased investment in research and development, greater collaboration and knowledge sharing, and a holistic approach that considers the social, economic, and environmental dimensions of cocoa production. By promoting sustainable cocoa production practices and addressing social and economic issues in the cocoa industry, we can ensure the long-term viability of the cocoa industry and improve the livelihoods of cocoa farmers around the world. One of the key challenges facing the cocoa industry is the issue of deforestation. Cocoa is often grown in areas that were previously forested, and the expansion of cocoa production has contributed to deforestation in many tropical regions. Deforestation can have a range of negative environmental impacts, including the loss of biodiversity, increased greenhouse gas emissions, and the degradation of soil quality. To address this issue, there is a growing focus on promoting sustainable land use practices in the cocoa industry. One approach is to encourage the adoption of agroforestry systems, which can help to reduce the impact of cocoa production on forests and other natural ecosystems. For example, shade-grown cocoa, where cocoa trees are grown under a canopy of trees, can help to maintain forest cover and provide habitat for a range of plant and animal species. In addition to promoting sustainable land use practices, there is also a need to address the issue of child labor in the cocoa industry. Child labor is a widespread problem in many cocoa-producing countries, particularly in West Africa. Children are often involved in hazardous work, such as using machetes to harvest cocoa pods, and may be subjected to physical and emotional abuse. To address this issue, many organizations have developed certification programs and standards for ethical cocoa production. These programs aim to ensure that cocoa is produced without the use of child labor, and that farmers receive a fair price for their cocoa. By promoting ethical cocoa production practices, we can help to improve the lives of cocoa farmers and potential and challenges of the coffee growing and processing industry in developing countries. Coffee is one of the most popular beverages in the world, with millions of people consuming it every day. It is also an important commodity for many developing countries, providing employment and income for millions of people. However, the coffee industry in these countries is faced with a number of challenges, as well as opportunities, that can impact its growth and development. One of the biggest challenges facing the coffee industry in developing countries is climate change. Rising temperatures and changing weather patterns are affecting coffee production in many regions, leading to decreased yields and lower quality crops. This has a significant impact on the income of farmers and the overall economy of these countries. In addition, the coffee industry is vulnerable to extreme weather events such as hurricanes, floods, and droughts, which can cause significant damage to crops and infrastructure. Another challenge facing the coffee industry in developing countries is the lack of infrastructure and technology. Many coffee farmers in these countries lack access to modern equipment, such as irrigation systems and machinery, which can help improve productivity and quality. In addition, the lack of transportation and storage facilities has a negative impact on the supply chain, resulting in higher costs and lower profits for farmers. Despite these challenges, the coffee industry in developing countries has enormous potential for growth and development. One of the biggest opportunities is the increasing demand for specialty coffee. Specialty coffee is a high-quality coffee that is grown in specific regions and processed using specific methods. It is becoming increasingly popular among consumers, who are willing to pay a premium for its unique taste and quality. This presents a great opportunity for farmers in developing countries to differentiate their products and increase their income. Another opportunity for the coffee industry in developing countries is the adoption of sustainable practices. Consumers are increasingly concerned about the environmental and social impact of the products they consume. By adopting sustainable practices such as organic farming and fair trade, coffee farmers can differentiate their products and meet the growing demand for sustainable and ethical products. In addition, the coffee industry in developing countries can benefit from partnerships and collaborations with other stakeholders, such as governments, NGOs, and private sector organizations. These partnerships can provide access to financing, technology, and training, as well as help to improve market access and develop sustainable supply chains. In conclusion, the coffee industry in developing countries is faced with a number of challenges, including climate change, lack of infrastructure, and low productivity. However, the industry also has enormous potential for growth and development, including the increasing demand for specialty coffee, the adoption of sustainable practices, and partnerships with other stakeholders. By addressing these challenges and leveraging these opportunities, the coffee industry in developing countries can continue to play an important role in the global economy and provide income and employment for millions of people. To further elaborate on the potential and challenges of the coffee industry in developing countries, it is important to look at the specific factors that impact the growth and development of this industry. One such factor is the level of government support and investment in the industry. In some developing countries, the government provides significant support to coffee farmers through subsidies, infrastructure development, and training programs. This can help to improve productivity and quality, as well as provide access to new markets. However, in other countries, government support for the industry is limited, which can hinder its growth and development. Another factor that impacts the coffee industry in developing countries is the level of market integration. In some countries, smallholder farmers have limited access to markets and are forced to sell their coffee at low prices to middlemen or traders. This can result in low income and limited opportunities for growth. However, in other countries, farmer cooperatives and associations have been established to help farmers access markets and negotiate better prices for their coffee. This can improve the income and livelihoods of farmers, as well as provide opportunities for value addition and processing. Another challenge facing the coffee industry in developing countries is the lack of access to finance and credit. Many smallholder farmers lack the capital necessary to invest in their farms and improve productivity and quality. This limits their ability to compete in the global market and improve their income. However, there are a number of initiatives and programs that have been established to provide farmers with access to finance and credit, including microfinance institutions, impact investors, and government programs. These initiatives can help to improve the income and livelihoods of farmers, as well as stimulate growth and development in the industry. Finally, it is important to consider the impact of social and environmental factors on the coffee industry in developing countries. Coffee production is often associated with environmental degradation and social issues such as child labor and poor working conditions. However, there are a number of initiatives and programs that have been established to promote sustainability and ethical practices in the industry, including certification programs, corporate social responsibility initiatives, and farmer training programs. These initiatives can help to address these issues and promote sustainable and ethical practices in the industry. In conclusion, the coffee industry in developing countries faces a number of challenges and opportunities, including climate change, lack of infrastructure, low productivity, limited market access, lack of access to finance and credit, and social and environmental issues. However, there are a number of initiatives and programs that have been established to address these challenges and promote growth and development in the industry. By addressing these challenges and leveraging these opportunities, the coffee industry in developing countries can continue to play an important role in the global economy and provide income and employment for millions of people. To further delve into the potential and challenges of the coffee industry in developing countries, it is important to consider the role of technology in this industry. In recent years, technology has played an increasingly important role in improving productivity, quality, and sustainability in the coffee industry. One such technology is precision agriculture, which involves using data and analytics to optimize crop production, improve soil health, and reduce the use of water and pesticides. Precision agriculture has the potential to significantly improve productivity and reduce the environmental impact of coffee farming. Another technology that is gaining popularity in the coffee industry is blockchain. Blockchain is a distributed ledger technology that allows for secure and transparent transactions. In the coffee industry, blockchain can be used to track the origin and quality of coffee, as well as ensure that farmers receive fair prices for their crops.